Hello there, my fellow Tibetan warriors. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Crusader Kings III, Rise of the Die. Episode 2, Heir to the Throne. And it looks like you guys want me to recruit a mountain specialist. So let's go do that too. And this guy joined. He doesn't like me much, but oh my lord, does he have high martial skill. All right. Well, in that case, you are out, and he is in. He is a brilliant strategist, just like myself. He's an aggressive attacker, which is perfect, and a rough terrain expert, which is really, really good. And then she should be a champion as well, I think. Where did she go? No, maybe she's not. Let's look at my courtiers. Whoa, you're really good at fighting too. I'm gonna recruit you to the court. Although I don't think you'll fight for me because you're not champion material. So this is the Tashiogo. Oh, there she is. She doesn't like me much because I just fired her. Okay, so the new person I just recruited, let's see if there's any positions for them. So there's the antiquarian, but I'm not going to hire one right now. There is court tutor, and I'm going to want a court tutor as soon as I have a kid to help with the tutelage. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably have Cheshyogl, the old marshal that I just fired, be the tutor, because it would be really good for me to train my child in like war and combat and the like. And I just re-swayed the Purohit, which is really good. I'm going to do maybe one more sway of the sway campaign. So the troops have almost replenished. We're getting there. The levies. And then when we do, we will declare war on the north, provided they don't have any allies or anything like that. Because that's an important thing to check, is to make sure that they don't have allies to call on. I gained men-at-arms negotiation for 5 years, so that cheapens the maintenance for men-at-arms. So the men-at-arms here are sort of specialty units. I have mountaineers. So the mountaineers are obviously going to be best fighting in the mountains and in the winter. They're heavy infantry types. And for tribals, they cost an upkeep of prestige. For feudals, it's gold, but for me, it's prestige. I wouldn't mind getting some additional, maybe like bowmen or something like that, but I'm not ready to pay for that just yet. All right, levies are full. Now reassessing, back in here has very, very small army comparatively. They have about half the forces. Amdo is very weakened as well. Should I attack Amdo while they're weak? I think they just either suffered raids or a war. So Amdo is part of, obviously, the Amdo Kingdom. Right now, their military strength is massively depleted. Oh, but you know what? They do have an ally. I take that back. Hold on. They have significant ally support of the of 2 different chieftains that could offer them 2,100 troops. What about Bakken? I know Bakken isn't part of the Amdo, but they have no allies. So should we consider attacking Bakwin, or whatever it is, while they're weak? Yes or no? So the advantage of adding additional territory is that it can be taxed, it can be controlled, it can be levied for troops. So as you expand, your armies grow and your income grows, as long as it's managed well. Because I think it would be basically a tie between Nangquen and Quarmaleb, but Bakwin would be a very, very easy victory. Very, very easy victory. And they have no allies to call upon. They are an aggressive attacker, but he's a wrathful fortune builder who's greedy. And it looks like that is a yes. So here's the types of wars that we can commit to. As tribal, we can only invade a kingdom once per lifetime, and only when you're, like, illustrious. So we can't do that. I could raid for captives. As part of our religion, and I should show you that, we do believe in raiding people and, like, murdering them, which is kind of dark, but, you know, that's okay. So here it is. Esotericism, which is children with the leading learning education focus may gain wise men. Human sacrifice. Executions earn piety instead of costing piety. So it gives us the grants raids for captives. Basically, we raid to sacrifice people. And sky burials. When rulers of ours die, we sky burial them. We basically feed them to the eagles. And here is our religion. And then our holy sites. So our holy sites are... one is relatively close by-ish in Lhasa. If we're... For reference, we are here. It's just down here. But the other holy sites are rather far away. And then, of course, we have our culture, too. Our Sumpa culture. And we're currently working on banners, which increases the levy reinforcement rate and unlocks March if we're feudal, but we are not. And these are the things that you can sort of work towards. And I can poll on this once we have a few wars under our belt. But tribals develop pretty slowly, so not that important. So I'm going to declare war, and I am not illustrious leader, so I can't declare war on all of Backwin. I have to declare war on a specific county. So I'm going to take the northern county that borders my territory. And because they are a different faith than me, this costs me piety. If they were of the same faith, like Amdo, it would cost me... Oh no, Amdo's not the same faith. Let's look at the faith here. Oh no, because they're the same faith, it costs me piety. If they weren't the same faith, like Nakwin here is not the same faith, it would then cost me prestige. So it changes depending on if they are like us or not. So looking at the faith map, what we believe in is this teal color. So everywhere we go and conquer in the teal will be a little bit easier because they believe in the same faith that we do. These areas believe in a mix of faiths, and then other areas with different colors believe in something entirely different. And it takes a very long time in the game to convert people over to your faith. And same with culture. So here's the culture map. Sumpa is our primary culture. And as you can see, the bordering territories to the east, north, east, and southeast have a blended culture between Sumpa and Bodpa. And then if we attack towards Amdo, it's all Sumpa. So if you take a look at where the religion and the culture is the same, that's going to be the easiest areas to expand into because they are like you and they won't resist you as harshly. You won't have as many faction wars and things like that. So, Backwin, time for that war. I want the Northern Duchy. I'm also going to say that I should rally my troops right on the border here. You have to not have a rallied army when you declare war. You can't have like an army in position. So, we declare war, and then immediately raise our armies. And he did not like that. Alright, so here's the potential battle. Probably you will win. I have a better army commander, I have more commander traits, I have more soldiers, they're defending in the hills, they are of higher quality, and they have a more man-at-arms counter. So the man-at-arms counter, and I feel like this just got way loud. The man-at-arms counter is... How do I click on your army? They have units that counter my units. They probably have bowmen, I'd imagine. And that's... Yeah. They have 3 knights, 100 bowmen, and 200... What is that? Skirmishers? Light footmen. So, all of these troops are kind of rocks, paper, scissors. Onagers counter fort walls so that you can siege. And then all the rest of the troops sort of counter one another. So I have mountaineers, which are heavy infantry, and they're countered by bowmen. But I'm not about to field a new prestige man-at-arms regiment because it would cost me a considerable amount of my prestige. Of which I cannot afford. So here's that battle. Currently, basically, slightly in my favor, but not by much. And then in terms of champions, I have a bunch of really strong champions. He has one strong champion, which is his steward, but the rest of them, not so much. And then for commander skill, we both have aggressive attacker, but I'm the one attacking. I also have rough terrain expert, and we're fighting the hills, so that gives me a bit of an edge there as well. So you can see all of the sort of calculations here. Damage is 12% in my favor because of those factors. One thing that I could have done to help me out a little bit is for me to lead this army instead of my commander. But the commander has a slightly higher martial skill than I do. When my martial skill goes up as a result of my lifestyle, I can consider commanding my own armies. There is, of course, the risk of personal injury when you do so. And they're getting whooped. And this was their only army. And I'm sending them packing for sure. Packing for backing. Character looks good. Yeah, he's a pretty strong dude. All right. So 49% of this battle is already over. The war score, because I captured the heir and I won the battle. So if we take a look at the prisoner here, this... Wait. I captured the heir? Where? Was that really the heir? Parent is a steward. Whatever. The game wants to give me free war score, I'll take it. So then we have a prolonged siege to conquer them. Or alternatively, I could try to chase them down, and they're coming to fight me, that's fine. It'd be like that. You want more of this? Sure. Oh, good. The enemy commander was maimed. So I must have slashed his face so bad that he's disfigured and wounded. That's not going to help with his martial skill. And I think, is he the leader of Bakken? Yes. So the leader just got slashed to the face by one of my dudes. And that lowers his diplomacy to 0. Brutal. Lowers his prowess, lowers his intrigue, lowers his martial skill, lowers, you know, a whole bunch of things. I'm making like a man in the iron mask here. Alright, they got whooped again. So, war score gone up even more due to the battles won. You know, I'm actually... So, when you're trying to capture territory, you raise the war score the most by capturing the territory in the battle that you wanted to capture. So, capturing this county, the county of Bakken, is obviously going to lend the most to my war score. And I'm also destabilizing it a little bit, which is kind of unfortunate. And there we go. Lakshman is pregnant again. Let's hope this one takes. Aether and Chaos Dino, thank you for the resubs. Wow, this didn't give me very much war score. It went up by like score capped at 50%, yeah. Okay, so here's another choice, and I'm gonna have you guys vote on this. For all the authority I supposedly wield as High Chieftain, I cannot be everywhere in my realm at once. There will always be those who, quote-unquote, forget to obey my orders once my attention is turned elsewhere. This is where my courtier, Meng Poje, would come in, who has been faithfully enforcing my decrees in court. He would serve as my right-hand man and take more of an active role in administrating my realm. So yes means I gain a right-hand man, which gives me a little bit of control per month. My opinion of him goes up a bit. Right now it's -11, it will go to -1. And then I spend more time with him, potentially as a friend. So taking a look at him, he has absolutely no prowess. He is all intrigue, which is a little alarming that he's a plotter, really. So he's an irrational knave plotter. He's lustful, paranoid, fickle, a plotter with one leg. This is who is asking me to be my right-hand man. I could also say my Marshal Barty can handle those kind of problems, and then my Marshal's opinion of me goes up by 20. So currently my Marshal's opinion of me is -1, so we'll go up to 19. My Marshal is stubborn, cynical, wrathful, but obviously really good in combat. Or, alternatively, I could just say, I'll handle everything for myself. It gives me a little bit of stress, but I gain an incredible amount of prestige as a result. So, I'm going to have you all polled again now that you know the results of that. Just don't vote early next time. Makes it a little bit easier. So either I gain a right-hand man, I make a better friend out of my Marshal, or I gain a whole lot of prestige and a little bit of stress. And it looks like we're going the prestige route. So I'll talk a little bit about the stress mechanic. So as you get stressed, there's different levels of stress, and as it climbs up, you can have mental breaks. And there's a lot of things that you can do to de-stress yourself, like going on a hunt, or having a pet and petting the pet, you know, those kind of things. So now that my stress is 40 out of 300, and my stress level goes up to 1 if I hit 100, I'm going to want to look for ways to decrease my stress. Ideally, I would like to go on a hunt here. As you can see, I just need a little bit more gold for that. So maybe I save up for that after this war. And this war should be done pretty soon, because these guys have no hope of recapturing or winning these fights. I don't really know why they're coming at me. Hey, dude. Here, I just enabled the Yoda camp, too. Hey, if you just want to train my dudes, that's cool, dude. I'll just keep whooping you. Once we're done, we're gonna have, like, straight veterans here. Hey, Georgie, thank you for the raid. Welcome. A pilgrimage is another way, a good way, yeah. The pilgrimages cost a little bit more. And they're really good for piety. The reason why I tend to go for hunting is sometimes it can actually turn you into a hunter, which raises your martial skill as a result, which is kind of nice. So I just captured the son and heir of that kingdom, and they have straight up given up. So I am going to enforce some of my demands. And what ends up happening here is I gain the title for myself. So if I take a look here at my titles, I am now the chief of Backwind. So if we zoom out, as you can see, the Dai Empire has expanded a little bit. I'm going to disband my armies. And I still actually have... No, I've released them as a result of the end of that battle. That was part of the truce. Okay, nice. There's low county control in Backwind. So Backwind has a control of 17. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my my marshal... Oh. Just needed to unpause. I'm going to put my marshal on enforcing control in the county so that I can start taxing it and drawing levies from it. I probably want one more sway on Purohit here before I start to either A, try to learn Lakshman's language, or B, sway her myself as well. Alright, it's saying that I can declare war, so it says I could go to Kamdo, which is not true because my forces need to replenish, obviously. I would lose this war. Or Amdo, which is so dumb because they have two very powerful allies. So another thing I could look to do is try to get some powerful allies so I can take on empires like Amdo who are backed by foreign powers. Meaning, trying to marry in. So, looking at my current area here, if I want to start to own Amdo, I'm going to want to make allies outside of the kingdom of Amdo. Like you, or Siang, or Xia, something like that. So when I have people to marry off, or friends to make, that's kind of where I'm going to be looking for. So that it's possible. Oh, wait, how old are you? You're 50 and your heir, oh, your heir is like your uncle or something. I got it. I was like, how are you 50 with a 71-year-old heir? So that's another thing to look at, is to just poke around to see who has heirs that are going to be roughly the right age. So like, for instance, you has an heir who's 12, who might not be betrothed. So if I have a daughter, I could marry her off to him, but not if my daughter is my primary heir. Because if I marry my daughter off to him, then any children that she has belongs to their dynasty. Unless I do a matrilineal hook. So you gotta be careful about that. Alright, current priority is reduce stress and build up control in Bakken. There's actually a remarkable lack of swastikas this time around. Of Tibetan swastikas, but swastikas nonetheless. The few times I was playing to prepare for this series, almost all my... Oh, yeah, here's one. This is, it was a Tibetan symbol co-opted by the Nazis. But it predates Nazis by so much time. So, she was not my Parohit was not swayed. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to poll you guys about this in just a second. I think what I'll do first is sway my marshal really quick. And then what scheme should I run? Learn Lakshman's language? Sway her for relationship? Or scheme someone else? Be 2.5 minutes on that. Oh, and we have son and heir. So then there's also going to be a raffle timer here above my head. So this is my player heir, who Lakshman just gave birth to. And he is unlanded in my court at Zadoi. He likes me, which is good. And I'm going to be doing a raffle. I forget whether or not you can rename people after they're born. So I think what I'm going to do here is, the raffle timer is a lie. I'm going to raffle it off even sooner. So let me reset that raffle timer and give you until the end of this poll to vote on that. So if you were trying to enter this raffle earlier, make sure to type something again, because the raffle just got reset, the timer. So this is my player heir, and what's really important, probably the hardest thing I would say to do in this game, because it's actually relatively easy to conquer territory, sort of, is to make sure that you're governing your territory well enough so that when you die, your heir inherits enough to retain power. So what ends up happening here is when I start to attain more territories, there's only so many titles I can hold on to for myself. So I need to spread those titles out to others. And I can give titles to my heir, but there's only so many titles that he can hold as well. Which means that I need to give titles to other people, but then to make sure that the heir assumes the best title for himself. So for instance, if I become the king of Amdo, I'm going to want to guarantee that he stays the king of Amdo, and the territories of Amdo more or less stay within his realm of power. So that can be tricky to do. All right, so we're going to learn her language, and Quirazilla, you are going to be my son. Awesome. So the first thing I want to do is to educate him, and I'm going to educate him myself. And then I'm going to go to my court tutor and stick Tushiogal as the... You know what? I'm going to actually stick Godin, my best champion, as tutor, because he is arrogant, deceitful, and cynical. I don't know about that. She sucks, too. What about you? Paranoid, lustful, fickle, compassionate, paranoid, deceitful. Why are you all awful? Fine. I'll do the one that is the most capable. So I think the names can't be changed. But I'm going to choose a focus for him, which is going to be a martial education, so that he can be a good combatant just like his daddy. The other thing I'm going to do is let's run these the raffles ahead of time, so that it's predetermined who's going to win, and they can tell me what they want their name to be. So raffle timer's up again. I should be coming up on the money I need for a hunt pretty soon. Yep. Quite soon. So I'm going to let the first scheme kick off for Belpa here, so that Belpa likes me just a little bit. And then I will start to learn Lakshman's language. So it's the Shara Seni language. If only stress relief was that easy in real life. I don't know. Go on a multi-day hunt if hunting is your thing. Sounds pretty stress-free. A little mini vacation or something. My levies are recovering pretty quickly. The control impact one is slowly rising. As you can see, with the control of only 29 out of 100, my levies are reduced and the taxes are considerably reduced. I'm only getting 0.07 gold per month from them. As a result, that's how bad it is. Not a whole lot of big moves out here yet. I mean, it's too soon for that to have happened, but still. I like to look every now and then. So the scheme I currently have, there's an 88% chance of progressing each month based upon power and resistance. So at the end of this month, I ought to get a little bit of a boost to my relationship with him. Oh, you are a good steward. You're a very good steward. How does my steward compare? Only 1 point off. That's not that big of a deal. I'm just looking at everybody else. Okay. Go a hunt. So now my stress dropped by 30. So I went from 40 to 10. Looks like... Oh, good. I got injured. Oh, no. My vassal got injured. Sucks for her, but I'll take a look at that in a second. So it looks like Kormorlev is being attacked right now. They might find themselves in a war at the moment, so they might be weakened as a result. So I'll have to keep an eye on that. Bounding through the hills, I am gaining on the powerful wolf I've been chasing for hours. Just as I prepare to strike, I hear my vassal, Mayor Ketu, cry out in pain. She has fallen and is clutching her leg. So she is the mayor of Loxi. So she is the mayor of Bakwin that I just conquered. And I can either tend to her. So if I tend to her, she gets dressed wounds for a massive health bonus. She gains opinion of me. Currently it's -70. And I gain practiced field surgery, which is learning +1. If I don't, I gain 150 prestige. She likes me even less, and she still goes wounded. So, choice is yours. Do I gain a little bit of learning and try to mend our relationship after I sieged her town? Or do I let her rot, giving up the chance to get that learning skill, but getting the prestige as a result? And as far as the next raffle goes, it's going to go to Joint. So Joint, let me know what you want your character to be named, and when there's a new character to be named, that will be your choice. All right, so it looks like you guys want me to tend to her. So I've done just that. The hunt's not over just yet, but if I take a look here, she now has dressed wounds for a massive health bonus, so she's not likely to die from her wounds anymore, but she's still wounded. And she has an opinion of -50 of me. You know, considering like just about saved her life, you'd think her opinion of me would be higher, but she also wants a seat on the council, so that's probably why she doesn't like me right now. As you can see, powerful vassals expect a council position, so she's expecting a council position, and because she is the mayor of Loxi, and I haven't given her one yet. Returning from the wild. We return home in disappointment. So I didn't manage to hunt anything, but I still gain a bunch of prestiges as a result anyway. So we're up to 663. And Belpa just got swayed by my efforts, so my relationship with him is a little bit better. As you can see, it's up to 25. So next up, I want to learn Lakshman's language. I have a 90% chance for this to happen. Based upon my learning, her learning, that I am young and eager to learn. I'm intelligent and ambitious. So we'll get that done. So you are... Kormorlev, let's go back there, is currently defending against this kingdom to the north. They are conquesting, and they are fighting for... Can I tell what title? For the eastern part of their territory. Got it. So if this northern kingdom, so Gonpo, does well, Kormorlev is going to be real weakened and easier for me to annex. It does give me then a potentially difficult northern neighbor to deal with. So it's good news, it's bad news, it's mixed. Everything is always mixed. Hi, buddy. Hey, Lack, thank you for the resub, by the way. And I gained another perk. So I did mention that I really wanted to push towards prepared conscription. So it's a little bit cheaper to manage my armies and faster for them to replenish. So we'll just keep doing that. Enemy occupations do not lower control is going to be really important as well. That way, if I get raided or attacked, the territories don't tank for control, meaning that I can tax them and levy them more quickly thereafter. Do we have a court jester? Court jesters is when you have a royal court. So I don't have a court jester yet because I don't have a court to have grandeur. There is a possibility for stress relieving events, but it's probably not worth the salary. There's also the seneschal. So the seneschal adds control depending on their skill, but there's also salary involved. Right now, pretty much all my territories except for one have pretty high control, so I'm not that worried about hiring one of these. Antiquarians do relics and artifacts, and I don't have one. And I'm not really worried about enemy agent schemes against my life at the moment. So I'm not worried about bodyguards or personal champions for that matter. Personal champions take your place during a duel, and if I have to duel, my prowess is pretty poor, so it wouldn't be a terrible idea to have a personal champion, but nobody's challenged me to a duel, and I think the likelihood of that is pretty low. Pretty low indeed. Well, it shows me that their levy... Yeah, they have no allies. You know what I could do? Is I could try to capture their southern county. Like, even if they're currently in another war. The problem is, if this invading army sieges the town, then I can't capture the town, which limits my ability to build up war score. Question. Should I wait for the Northern War to finish, or should I declare war now anyway? Wait or go to war? What do you guys think? 2.5 minutes to vote on that. So my current scheme is to learn the language. It's going to take about 4 years. Having a court tutor is also helping, as you can see. So there's a bunch of bonuses there. And obviously there's not going to be any scheme resistance. No one's working against me to prevent me from learning a language that probably pretty much never happens for learning languages, I'd imagine, in this game. You love that I'm playing CK? Well, thanks for the resub. I appreciate it. I'm playing because y'all voted on it. So it's my pleasure. Oh, look at little Sog. Hopefully, Kona's foreign affairs will shorten the truce between me and Sog so I can declare war on Sog again and get that last territory. That would be nice. Another thing that I haven't done and I haven't showed you yet is developing the territory. So there are buildings that you can build in your territories. They cost a considerable amount of gold, but once you have the gold, you can build them like markets, which would give me tax per month. Or gathering halls for prestige per month, and control and levies. So there's a lot of infrastructure to be able to be built once gold is acquired. And at the moment, Kormaleb is absolutely losing to their northern neighbor. Amdo still has those mega allies. Where are they again? Let's see. So one is very, very close, just west, so they would easily be able to come to the aid. The other one is super far away, and I wouldn't really have to worry about Chieftain Uzur of the Kulan Unak, because it's like a continent away. I mean, it's not that far. They could march over, but if I position my troops in to have a very quick and decisive war, they wouldn't even arrive in time, because they're way up there. But he's also allied with High Chiefess Nesla. Oh my god. And that's way more, way closer and more dangerous. So that's something to look after. Uh-oh. I'm starting to become a lunatic. Well, that's not good. I don't like that. Lately, I've been having a hard time thinking straight. My thoughts are scattered like clouds upon a summer sky. The birds outside my window have started singing another tune. Other people seem to willfully talk in riddles, and no one acknowledges that cilantro is truly a horrid spice. Well, it hasn't popped up yet. But, consider me concerned. Maybe it's just because I'm learning a new language and it's driving me insane. Oh, God. Nope, I'm a full-blown lunatic. Okay. This last week I've been spiraling like a leaf in a tornado, going round and round. What is reality? What is real? I can no longer answer this. All I know is that the woman in the clouds understands me, but the shadows are reaching further every day. All right. That's a good start. Plagued by hallucinations, delusions, and disorganized thoughts, Technier struggles to distinguish between what is real and what is not. Man, I have some bad luck. Lore language, infantile fables. So, it is children fables from her language. Wait, this is the mayor of Lakshi. I'll read it and then have you decide upon it in just a second. The wise heart then said to the little boy, "Beware, for there's a..." And suddenly I'm interrupted. "What?" said the high chieftain, is reading the children's fables? "Have you no pride?" she exclaims. "This is unacceptable. If your foe finds out, they will think you feeble-minded. Maybe my choice of literature is a bit underwhelming in the eyes of the court." So there's three options here. There's an intrigue challenge where I trick Kedu into thinking the fables are classical works, and it's a 40% or 46% chance to work, and if I do, I gain prestige, her opinion of me goes up, and I gain scheme power in order to learn the language. If I fail, I spend almost half of my my prestige, and I gain feeble-minded for 10 years, which is people think much less of me. Either I can agree with her, and her opinion goes up, but I lose progress in learning the language for 3 years. Losing progress doesn't mean it stalls, it just means it's more difficult. Or let people what they think. These stories are educational. I spend 150 prestige. I still get feeble-minded, but I still gain my ability to read the fables. So basically, I don't lose prestige, but learning the language is a little bit harder, or I lose a lot. I gamble, or I don't gamble and lose a little. So those are the choices here. Ah, this mayor is a pain in my butt. That, and, you know, I'm a lunatic. That doesn't help either. So the lunacy here makes me a little less attractive. My vassals' opinions of me drop a little bit, and it's easier to run hostile schemes against me. There's also a minor health penalty as well. So it's not a good thing for me to have. Luckily, I'm not my own marshal. I'm not the leader going into battle, so the health penalty is not that big of a deal. And I only really have one vassal, and it's this person here who already really hates me. So if she hates me more, well, whatever. I can deal. Does lunacy get worse? I don't know. Let's see. While you vote. Lunatic. I don't see that there's info on it. Alright, you guys want me to gamble. Hey, it worked! I tricked her into thinking it was classical works. She likes me a little bit more. I gained prestige, which is incredible. My level of fame as a result went up to being widely known, or distinguished in this case. And okay, the game has a pop-up and it, yeah, whatever. The endless clash of metal on metal. The chafing of armor, the sting of sweat. This is the dance that is as familiar as it is exhausting. To couch my spear, attack, dodge, defend, and repeat. Maybe it would do me good to practice my skills with another weapon. So, I can either say, me and my trusted spear will not part. I become a respected expert in the spear. Or, alternatively, let's end the monotony, hand me another weapon, and I have a 70% chance to gain prestige and martial lifestyle experience, which gives me another point to spend in here. Or a 30% chance to become wounded and still gain a little bit of experience, but only half that. So, do we go weigh the spear and gain some prowess? Currently my prowess is 8, it would go up to 10. Or do I gamble a little bit and try for the added experience and prestige, but at the risk of becoming wounded? I like how he's surrounded by other medieval weapons, axes, swords, shields, what looks like pikes. All right, it's dead even so far. Do we have a tiebreaker? I'm gonna end this poll a little early, just so we're not stuck here. I'll flip a coin unless someone wants to vote. Here it goes. Head. It looks like Way of the Spear. Nope, it's gonna be. Let's say it's tied. So heads is Way of the Spear, and tails is another weapon. Actually, we just had a tails. The last viewer right after the poll closed. So let's end the monotony. And we're injured. So you can see it on our face. We're wounded. So we have a severe health penalty. We lose a... Oh, I've already lost my injury because my steward and court physician healed me. We did gain 50 life experience, but it's 1,000 to level up, so it's not like a significant chunk of a level up. Oh, good. You're a torturer. I do hope that you lose this war. Although he's currently winning it, apparently. Even though he doesn't control his own southern territory. I don't know why this army is just sitting here. They seem stuck. So I have about 1,300 troops and 7 champions. Let's see. I'm going to recruit this guy to my court as a champion as well, so that this dude, this one-legged, cannot fight for the life of him dude, doesn't have to be my champion, because he's not going to be helpful at all. Thank you for tuning in to Crusader Kings III: Rise of the Die, which originally streamed live on Twitch September 1st. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my gaming community, Rhadamant.com or the description of this video have a link to Discord. Thank you so very much for watching. A special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that stayed till the end of the credits. I'll catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Adios.